All right, I will call this, meeting for 13th, meeting of the School Board of Education. So roll call.
Rich James,
Yes.
Janet Mathis,
Here.
Allison Reeser, Bo Schrader,
Here.
Isaac Wallace, Earl Wallace, Ashley White.
All right, next we have our application of the agenda.
I, Kimberly Johnson, hereby certify that notice of the Kickapoo Area School District May 13th, 2026 regular school board meeting was published in accordance with state law.
Can we get a motion to approve the agenda? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I guess we start with the election of board officials. Do I have to manage that process?
Yeah.
All right, well, I have a list of our positions. How we've done that in the past, just go around and take nominations for each,
Oh, do we have little such paper? Because it's
No.
this is the one thing that we. That I remember.
Oh, never done that before.
Yeah.
We might have,
Let's just number one. Okay.
yeah, take nominations, president, that person, we won't do that person, then that person takes your seat. So far, nobody I know. So we might.
So start with nominations for president. I'll make a motion to nominate Isaac Wallace for president.
And those don't need seconds.
Nominations. Here's.
Please.
All right, we may need a.
Now that's nomination, then we need a motion that says we'll.
Make a unanimous ballot for Isaac Wallace as president.
That one does it. I don't know.
You made a motion.
You made, yeah, we had a second last year.
Yeah, you gotta have a second.
A second, yeah.
Oh,
You didn't?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, I guess I keep doing this. I guess next year vice president. I'll nominate Janet Mathis as the vice president. I do not. Sorry. I'll do my best.
I do know what it is, but I guess. I guess a few weeks.
Any other nominations for vice president? All right, the motion is in there for. I'll make a motion, pass the unanimous ballot for Janet Mathis as vice president. In favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Right, next I think we have treasurer.
Nominate for Wallace.
Are there nominations for treasurer? All right, are none, so I probably should make that motion to say thing.
I'll make that motion. We make that and get the unanimous ballot for Earl Wallace.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. And we have clerk.
Nominate Rich James.
Any other nominations? All right, the motion. I'll make a motion. Rich James for clerk. I'll second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Did I say anything? All right.
It's easier if we can just do that all in one motion. That was a good work.
All right, next we have the audience to visitors and board members, starting with student council. Ross.
Hi, my name is Brogan Carey, and we are members of the High School Student Council. This will be our last report for the school year. There have been some great things happening at KQ this year, such as
Sixth grade students will be starting a new genre study on dramas, and seventh grade students will be writing information speeches on Wisconsin road trip destination.
8th graders have started their chemistry unit and for sure enjoying chemical reactions, particularly those that involve the use of the Bunsen burner.
The seventh grade football team competed in Baroqua on April 14th. Out of 9 teams, we finished fifth and had a good time.
The high school math team competed in the Twin Conference math contest with surrounding schools back in March. Junior varsity placed first and varsity placed third. We had quite a few individual students score high enough to make the first and second all-conference teams.
Physics finished C-Perch and dominated the regional competition. First place is headed to University of Maryland to compete nationally at the end of May. The entire group built bridges and competed at UW-Platteville STEM Expo. Chemistry is completing a fourth quarter project in which they are investigating and reporting on chemistry behind a consumer product of their choice. Their presentations will include demonstrations and/or unique teaching opportunities. On a side note, Chem students just learned how to complete acid/base titrations and are rocking the process. All life science classes recently helped plant 450 trees on the school property as part of its management plan. High school classes paired up with elementary classes to provide assistance. AP Bio wrapped up their unit in ecology and took their AP test last week. Regular biology is moving on to ecology and natural selection in their class. Earth science students are working on meteorology projects where they act as meteorologists to accurately discuss weather maps. They will finish this year on astronomy. Anatomy and physiology and physics. Students are beginning a unit on digestion and nutrition, which will last me to year up with a unit on reproduction and production.
Spanish 2 and 3 students are wrapping up the year reading and discussing the Spanish novel, putting to test all the skills they've gained throughout the year. Spanish 1 is doing a final unit on clothing/shopping where they will create a mock fashion show and a shopping skit. We also celebrated the cultural significance behind Cinco de Mayo.
The unit class took to town on April 18th. It was a great time for the kids and went well.
Student Council held a mental health day for middle and high school students back on April 1st, which was a half day. The new event had a variety of activities, fun classroom options, a focus on community, and a mental health presentation from Miss Eddy. It was a great success, and we think the students had a good time together. Kudos to Ms. Schulel. In March, our middle and high school swim choirs traveled to Fenimore for a contest. Middle school earned a first rating, and high school earned a trip to state. We had a fabulous music trip to New York City and Washington, D.C. We hit all the highlights and especially enjoyed the musical Hadestown. Thank you again to our supporters, the school and administration, parents, chaperones, and students for making this an unforgettable trip. Congratulations to Charlie Zellhofer and Lane Miller for making it to the WSMA State Honors Band and Orchestra. They will perform at the Overture Center in October. In choir, Maddie Smith and Harlow Fleehardy were named as alternates, and I think Maddie just got in, so. Solo ensemble was on April 11th. We had 7 entries and 24 moved on to state. Our year will finish out with state solo ensemble, spring concerts on May 7th and 11th, graduation and Memorial Day.
High school students are currently in an archery unit and will transition into a swimming unit as that finishes up. 6th and 7th grades are participating in outdoor activities as well as fitness testing and will start a swimming unit once that finishes up.
The yearbook staff has completed both the middle and high school 2026 yearbooks. Those books will be arriving early mid-May for distribution before the end of the school year. They are currently working on the 2026 spring supplement, which will be sent for publication in June and distributed at the start of the 2026-2027 school year.
It has been a wonderful, active, and academic school year. Thank you to the school board for all your support to be able to provide such a wonderful and enriching experience for our kids students.
Have a good night, guys.
Back again.
Have a good summer.
All right, we have another board member comments, open line.
That was the first I heard about the mental health day, so. Spearheaded that, thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm sure we're doing a great job. We did a lot of work. It was really good. It really enjoyed it. Awesome. Thank you for everything that's happening. Yeah. All right, we'll jump down into the expense vouchers and receipts. I mean, the new board members, is that we're just touching base so quick on the kind of the intent of going through the expense vouchers and receipts? I mean, I know there's just a lot of pages and a lot of numbers and.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
I don't want to expect, I was kind of. Like, looking through this, trying to figure out what we're looking for, I don't know. Anybody has a better handle on this than me? But I understand, or, well. I was usually on, well, fence out with the police, and I usually kind of went down through. I've been on the school board long enough that you kind of know the norm for everything, but if something really shows up real high priced or whatever, you ask questions to find out why or who pays for it. And so, I mean, every once in a while, if, like when, Jeff went off with Buster's Net, it was a real big expense, okay, what was the cause or whatever that way, or, I mean, and given for the P cards, we ordered lots of, end of the year supplies just to get in to the end physical end June 31st or 30th. And so you'll see a lot of that gets put into somebody's
So now,
P card. So just to have it on hand and get it, use up some of our budget if we all been used up, but then ultimately Allison is, all these items are going through a budget for individual teachers. This has all been checked against that when we get this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been checked
it's all within budget.
2 times, yes.
Well, we don't necessarily know.
Okay, so we don't know that.
But everything, yeah, and those kind of things, like the P card things, they send that to a purchase order sort of thing. You know, we used to have a committee that met, half hour before the meeting.
Or had to
to
go
over
through
that.
everything
And we have new members in that. We kind of dispensed with that a few years ago. A lot of times
They set up
Same thing over
Yeah.
again, the meeting and.
The first year you go through it, you know, after you, the first year or so, you get a better handle on what goes on at different times, what you expect. But it's more, or right now, we're new, just anything, if you see a big, like, class, if you saw a huge check that went to CISA, for example,
Yeah.
you might ask and say, well, what is it, what is that paying for? And don't hesitate.
Right, if, I was gonna say too, whatever you're curious about, all questions, building knowledge is power.
Mhm.
And like, we're trying to transition also into a practice of you get this earlier if you review and you have questions and you can send the questions prior to the meeting. Just so there's more preparation and looking, you know, not everything might be on the top of the head, so it takes a little bit of digging. But yeah.
So we review these every month?
Don't feel you have to pour through it.
Yeah, but at least we can see it with our petition.
And you'll get used to seeing what.
Well, and a lot of these I'm pretty familiar with already, a lot of these vendors, so.
I think that's the part about the P cards, it seems like the vendors at this point, you know.
Yeah.
Hard to guess what that's actually
Yeah.
for, just given kind of the way the crowd works. So I guess with that, I guess this is the opportunity to kind of voice any of those questions. You have them.
I wanted to ask you. Oh, it's on page 7. Oh, and it deals with something from. Yeah, so Newman Pools, we have a annual contract with them for that service. I don't even tend to know what it is. On page 7, they did an annual service. I don't know when they did it, but the invoice was dated May 11th. And that was $100. And then later on the agenda tonight, I saw repairs contract, but that doesn't have anything to do with this then, because this is the service. Which I didn't remember that we had a service.
With the UV,
Well, just that with Newman.
Yeah, it's at the top of.
I didn't know if there was any connection or if we, well, the third one down on page 7. They do something that day, pay $3,400 for.
and that question, I don't know that I can accurately, answer without,
Allison was gonna try to log in, but she had to wait till Troy got home to take the little one, so, yes. So she's gonna try to log on as soon as she
Yeah,
can,
she may actually be invoice or something.
and she has a basket, I think.
And that is agenda item I, right, so we can maybe revisit that.
Yeah, we can do that later too. I just wanted, but if we first take that question, I'll have to staff. But now that I see it, I guess it can make it, but it says service contract, and that's exactly what the other is. It says service per contract. So is, I don't know, I guess the other explanation might be is this contract, what's the contract? Is that for next year? Because I don't see anything to back that up.
Or is it the item?
Or is it that bid that we were talking about? This week? Looking at
To get pushed back.
we'll look at it when we get there. I think that
That's
one.
what it is. It's the same thing as in the board, put around that.
Well, then I'd really be interested in what our contract was last year. If we're paying $1,000.
This is a fix. That's fixed that way so that we would give us price of bits and pieces and didn't really like that.
Oh, so we're not actually.
Yeah,
That, in
that.
fact.
So that's why he's getting the one from,
Okay.
wherever it was, the business school. Yeah, this was the cost we paid for them to come out and
Tell
look
us
at
that
it
we
and tell us
can-
that they have to spend another $10,000.
oh, it's okay, whatever the maintenance is.
So at this point.
Understood. All right, any other questions? If none, can I get a motion to approve the expense vouchers from receipts?
That's.
Motion by Janet, second by Earl, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's fine. It's approved. Moving down to 7, the consent agenda. Consent agenda for tonight includes minutes from the April 8th regular board meeting, Minutes from the April Buildings and Grounds and Transportation Committee meeting. Minutes from the April 29th special board meeting. Authorization to approve non-applications for open enrollment students to attend or leave the district for DPI guidelines and board education limits in January. 26-27 student handbook revisions. Second reading of Neola policies, digital content, accessibility, accounting, oversight of fundraising and disbursement. The athletic trainer agreement with VMH for 2026-27 in the summer of 2026. The TC network agreement for the next 2 years. City Bluffs oral care agreement for 26-27. A fundraiser for summer softball. And donations to include the PE department receiving a $2,500 Bell Play 60 grant from the Heart Association used to purchase heart rate monitors. Fiskars donated about $650 worth of tools to Mr. Lee to help with landscaping. Mr. Gerke received a grant for $2,894.95 from the Richland County Campus Association for Ice Fishing Club, purchase supplies, and the donation of furniture, science and music equipment for no cost from the Richland County Board. Mike Lepke donated $612 worth of sand to extend the shop there. Any questions or other conversation about consent agenda items? A lot of that.
Looking at that now, yeah.
If it's approved, is that price was okay?
So and a donation of a xylophone, if they gotta be in the deputy.
To me, then.
It's a donation. So it's a donation of a xylophone for the new playground equipment as part of the rest of the equipment that's been donated to the school. All right, so
Ice cream from Ashley. Donated all the ice cream for the kids.
Oh, actually, what I sent to all of the kids. Or is fine. It's fine, I said.
Is that coming?
I didn't know that.
Marlo doesn't have the check yet. Marlo doesn't have the check.
It's coming. For students and staff, yes.
we get any yet?
Yeah, show up on the right day, right?
Yes.
Today's the day.
It was yesterday.
More of a surprise.
All right, so I guess with that, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda? I will so move. I will second. A motion by Earl, second by Bo. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move down to our action agenda. First up is the 2026 summer school program and teachers.
And I think you have a list of them. And Andy really runs the summer school program, so do you want to get into any of the details there?
I think as of right now, we have 160 some kids signed up. But no matter how many times I put a deadline on there and ask them to sign up, you show up when summer school starts. So I'm sure that number will be closer to 200 by the time it's all done.
We're doing transportation like we haven't had.
Yep. And one. I'll be here at 8, 7:30, and I'll be gone at noon. And then Camp Kickapoo is, we've had so many, last year especially, so many middle school teachers volunteer to do stuff, which is awesome because we had a bunch of middle school kids. The Camp Kickapoo is, we just divide the first, second, and third graders up, and then fourth and fifth can decide what classes they want to go into going up. But some new ones, babysitting and beyond. Morgan got trained in that, and we talked about hunter safety with Mr. Martin. He's got one class at 10 and one class at 8 right now. Fishing's got 24. At least when I checked this morning, they can only have 25, so I hope 2 kids didn't sign up. And then Ryan Beagle is doing basketball and volleyball. So, and Lori Martin has to go to the second week. Lori has to She's going to a camp for robotics in Madison, so she can only do the first week. And Amy and Sam can only take a week of the 4-year-old, so one week was enough. But yeah, it's gone really, knock on wood, really smoothly the last. I guess this will be, yeah, I've done it 3 years now, so should be good.
And then in addition to that, which is held not during our summer school.
Right, the reading we talked about. So.
The reading, but the Kickapoo Valley Reserve.
Oh yeah, the reserve one. I've had nothing to do with that. So.
And I think we had 16 kids signed up. Lafarge had 7 currently, but we are each supplying a teacher. Steve Wallace has insurance papers, but he will be picking kids up at Kickapoo, and then he has a bus and picking kids up on Lafarge, and then going to the KVR for biking, hiking, swimming, survival skills. He wants to do a little bit of cooking.
What's the name of their organization? I have not heard of it until late. Just like the second.
Yeah, he does. Steve Wallace, he has the Sitting Free Farm.
Who's done this before?
This is the first time.
First time with this type of thing. I think he tries to get out and build community and so yeah, we have a lot of interest, and it will be 1 week long, and Sarah Wallace will teach that. So we have a staff member there, but we do of course the background check. Steven does have insurances, so that there.
Those 2 weeks we're doing, it is Monday through Friday this year.
Yep.
I haven't read up some, just Monday through Friday.
Before my time, when I always swore I would never ever come in for summer school, and then it got me tired of it. Then it wasn't at 3 weeks, and it was Monday through Friday.
Maybe that's what it was too, right?
All right, any other questions on the summer school program? Motion to approve?
Before I make that motion, I don't see like band used to be on.
Yeah, who's in there?
It's on the bottom.
Band lessons and
Oh, there it is. I was looking for pink band. Anyway, make a motion to approve it if nobody else did it.
I'll second it. Motion by Janet, second by Earl, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, please please, the 2026, 2027 WASD delegate.
We do this astronomical thing.
Yes, you'll motion to appoint. Yeah.
I was Earl to do that. He has much experience. We know she has been doing this many years. So.
All right. Do you want to do the delegate and then an alternate, or do you want to sign an alternate at the same time? Nominations for alternates or interest in being an alternate? Maybe what's involved with it. I'll be if I don't. State school board, it's in Milwaukee.
Third week of January.
Yeah.
Whatever we think January is the most.
Nowhere or over the.
What is one of the afternoon, Wednesday afternoon?
Wednesday afternoon, you said in delegate meeting from 1 till 5 or it's 10 till 11.
You're really selling it, Earl.
Well, last year we actually got done in 2.5 hours. The year before, it was 5:30 and people started leaving. We didn't have enough for a quorum. So like, okay, we're done. This year, some of the resolutions that didn't get done last year came back on. So
It's hard to sell it because there's so many other sectionals and stuff going on, which is why I never did it until 2 years ago. But I ended up doing it for season because the person was supposed to do it couldn't at the last minute. So just having it there.
And yeah, those.
I mean, I could do it, but I could also end up being the CISA representative, and if that happens,
There's a lot of sessions that are very informative, taking, gives you a lot of information, different stuff that goes on from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
it's what the resolutions that schools bring is things that guide, then depending on how the group votes on it, they guide the WSB lobbyists in, whatever you lobby for, which direction we want this, and they have to keep the needs of like little schools to big schools, rural to urban, all kind of out. So sometimes they change resolutions a little bit, just,
Yeah, sometimes
you can't like do something that's gonna for one segment for another, because they have to keep the whole picture in there. So it really is more like the things that you hear about in a legislative update, tell you what bills are out there and what things are looking like and who's saying what, and so it tells them how to lobby. Like I say, I don't know, does anybody think they'd be going? I mean, the problem if you're not self-employed or retired
you can get off work.
is that, yeah. Then if you're going, and especially if it's your first year, there's just so many sectionals and things to go through that. When I would look through that, it's like, oh gosh, I'm gonna go. I don't want to sit there all afternoon out for this. So
Okay, and
you got to promise you'll
three
go.
semi-general sessions that are usually good speakers.
And you have to send our names in ahead,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
But they can also
Yes.
change last minute because
I think I can change them online. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do have, some stuff
So-
here.
I'd let you put my name into the office, but then if I end up being a representative for CISA, then we'll be just checking. By that time, you might have to, whether you're gonna be able to go. It's a really good experience. I also know it's hard. I mean, small kids or.
I do want to go a couple years time, but I'm thinking the other part of the experience.
Well, if you'd like to put your name,
Well,
that would be good. But you want the other project parts, that's fine. I did that too. And to be honest, have we ever used consultant? No, not.
Earl Nagel.
Or he's looking to put my name. We likely won't have to make any change. And if you do, it's okay.
This will go without being a delegate, then it's, like I said, there's so many sessions to go through that you learn.
And there, more you can pick your topic. So there's the financial end of things and the student end of things.
Then you get to see a lot of different
Curriculum.
vendors that are there that, promote everything they got. Usually where we get the buses from, there's usually about 3 or 4 different bus companies there, 4 different, gym floor companies. I mean, you get, after being there so many years, you can vote.
So I guess I can just amend my original motion to nominate Earl and I'll be the alternate.
I'll make a nomination for Janet as an alternate.
Okay, there you go.
All right, so we need a motion then to approve Earl as our delegate and Janet as our alternate for 26-27 WSB. I'll second it. Motion by Ashley, second by Bo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And then next is our CISA 3 representative for 26-27.
Okay, the one main thing this person is supposed to do is go to the CISA annual convention, which is Tuesday, August 4th at Fenimore at CISA. I have done that for maybe a dozen years. We have a trip planned and I'm not going to give you it's not a huge deal if we don't get someone there with 100% discount. It is another one that's a good opportunity. Probably 30 people from the other 31 people. We usually have 30. But if there's anybody else who'd be willing to do that, that would be good. And another 60 coming. No, it's about 6 o'clock, I think, yeah.
Mhm.
They have a little like dinner and business meetings. Oh, for election of board members, but our district up here, that's Representative Ithaca, West, and Riverdale. Was found, neither one of us are. We don't have, it's not an election for one of us. But there are two other positions. Anybody interested? Actually, just comes down to 8 hours.
I didn't probably go with you. You see it.
Okay, I'll go. Well, when you can go and we can post an alternate for that.
You send whatever you want to go, I think.
Well, they have to have a name or something because when they take a call, because everybody, actually the whole board. Some districts. Yes.
Boy,
We're-
most of them.
so- And so some superintendents.
That time of the proceeds, so don't they have like a new school board member, I went through it, but you could.
Yeah, they both did. Yeah, when I went down that night too, so, yeah. Yeah, I think I did. I do remember perspective on this. Oh, let's go.
Yeah, that's good.
To answer your question, Jen, I think it might be good to have an alternate.
What, yeah,
Given babies, you never know.
Yeah. so if you want to send it. So what you guys decide for yourself, I guess, we have one for an alternate and one for the representative, and one for an alternate. And
Okay.
that too, that's
Are you motioning to appoint?
clear. We can- Alice. So with Ashley as the alternate.
Okay.
All right. That's a motion?
Yes.
So second?
Second.
Motion by Jan, second by Earl, all in favor? Opposed? All right, now we are on 26, 27 teachers.
Right, so this, is just a list of the teachers that you are willing or wanting to tell them that they have a job next year. You're providing a contract, you just don't know the salary yet. So putting an intent to hire in their mailbox, without the specific salary attached. As we will need to discuss that at a future meeting.
Question. What is the at-risk position?
That is like an interventionist, a student, current student, a teacher who helps the students who struggle more so than needs. They're at risk of.
Yeah, I was just curious, because I got the intervention staff here.
Oh,
I'm not the same.
Yeah, same idea.
Because sometimes it's like at risk of the job, so it's like, okay.
Yeah, always good to ask, absolutely.
All right, any discussion or questions on the list of teachers? None, we have motion for.
I'll make a motion to approve the list of teachers that have been provided to us for the upcoming 26, 27 school year.
All right, motion by Earl, second by Ashley. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so next. We have the roof repair bid, but I think that was scratched from our meeting, so I think that's. We scratched from our agenda. I think the bleacher repair and maintenance bid, I think we're looking for more information before that comes to the board. So we'll scratch that from the agenda. The gym floor. It says repair, but I believe that was the resurfacing or refinishing. I believe it's in here. Oh, that's the under the top. But that, yeah, approved. It was pretty good. If nobody really comes There's any discussion before, it's on the agenda.
I think the explanation why the committee could approve that,
So I believe,
because usually committees don't. They accept it and bid, but
yeah, so the committee can accept up to $5,000, anything over $5,000 will come to the full board. So that was approved at the committee level. So then next is the baseball, softball field repair, which I believe is also getting another update before it comes to us, so let's scratch that. It's Stalker Sports.
There's only one.
There's only one bid and it's the one coat. One coat. One for the elementary and after.
Yeah, recommend one coat, and we do it.
yeah, they do it every year.
Here's what we did do, two coats,
That's the thing.
in the high school gym. It's saying, we coats.
So then the next item was the pool UV service contract, which I think we're gonna look to get a second quote for that as well. So we'll scratch that off the agenda. And now take us to the informational agenda. So discussion items, A1 is the district fees for 2026-27.
So, as we looked at and discussed, kind of that budget, we thought that it was time to increase lunch prices. And, so the increase was for 10 cents.
So the numbers listed here include that 10 cents, or they don't have some that number happens.
No,
Increase
they
another-
include, no, that includes.
That is the price. So it has been increased by 10 cents.
Does that impact the weekly at all? Does that impact the
Yeah.
Sorry, what's that?
Just-
The weekly, I'm sure she must have put it in like that.
Yes, I did. Am I nickel off?
No. You're right.
Yeah, the increase, I think that is, time was all with that. It really wasn't quite that because we started raising it a small amount every year because there's some kind of visit audit or somewhere where they come in and go through things and they, a lot of times we would hold off raising. We go, we just, no, we don't have to do that.
Right.
Yeah, this sucks. And they said, no, we need to raise it a little bit. And then we'll hopefully that will do this.
Right, and 10 cents was the cap, but we can't raise it any more than 10.
And with the price cooker now I can see it, but it, part of the thing too was that we had a big, what do you call it? Fund balance, kind of big in that fund.
It includes services, yeah, we're over.
Yeah, and now that's basically wiped out.
So breakfast is still free. But increasing a dime for lunches for everybody.
And we want to just touch base on the varsity athletic tickets. Or the freehold donation they going?
We've gotten some, it's not been,
They
and I've
don't
taken it
donate.
out a few times and, brought it down, but I mean, I don't, I've counted on it, turned it in, but it's not been like a huge amount of time.
We talked about it last year because we've been free since what was the pandemic year.
I mean, it was kind of nice to have it open to. the-
Yeah, I know last year, I think I brought it up just because I had two different people during sporting events during the year say, everywhere else I go, I have to pay, and when I come here, they come in.
So it was signed by it's a box of direct donations, right?
Yeah.
You need to kind of make a sign there. and-
There
or
is,
is there
There is,
something over there?
maybe make a bigger, something bigger,
Subjective donation.
yeah, we do not charge for admissions, but we have. I can't remember exactly what it says.
Virgin Valley
Something
Edition.
about that.
That's what.
I don't think it is suggested donations, like, you know, how you like go and
Yeah.
feel like you should donate something, but it's over by the food stand.
Yeah, right by the
So-
stand.
Is there an opportunity or an option for like a electronic, like
Oh, yeah.
Venmo or something like that? It just, I mean, because so many people just don't carry cash today.
Right.
So that's something that was, I don't know how much service charge that would be, but that's something people can easily just scan and put money into.
So the Kool-Aid conference actually does, they only accept electronic.
Can't be. NBC is the same way too. It's most places. That's all.
When you walk in, you can't just pay.
You
Nope.
cannot pay cash.
They don't have any cash. You have, they'll help you do it on your phone.
Because the discussion then is like, if you're having someone sit there all night.
I know.
Paying, like you're not.
And that's what we said too.
And, I mean, Alice would know the exact amount, but
It was-
it's definitely less than $10,000 for sure. And I think the amount of people that we get to go and support, the kids that come, I mean, there's a lot of families that come to games now that I know if they're paying
Yeah.
$4 a piece for
Yeah.
their 5 kids or whatever, they're not coming to every
Oh.
game like they do. And, the concessions is always really good. I think that, that's been supported really well. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I've never heard it in a negative. Nobody's ever said, I want to pay. It's always like, this is great. This is really nice. It's greatly appreciated,
You gotta think if someone's time and if they were gonna put money into entry fee to. put it
They're
in
gonna
concession.
buy the concessions. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
exactly.
think you're getting the same amount either way.
With the donation thing, I just think about if I was coming in the door, I feel like if there was something actual that you were donating to, or like that you had hey, we're 2,000 out of the 10 there,
Yeah.
if I can see what I'm donating to, it's a lot different than where the hell is that going,
Yeah,
So
good
maybe
point.
we could pick something to have the money go towards
That would be a good.
and just maybe update like, hey, we're, that'd be kind
It
of
was
cool.
like they do the
A 50-50 thing.
like they do the 50/50. We don't charge admission, the 50/50 money gets donated.
Yeah, with specific pieces of equipment or whatever it is, yeah. Maybe if it's during football, you
Maybe
can have.
get kids interested in doing that, that might help too. I mean,
Yeah.
actually,
Like with the
if We're
football
trying to
team.
raise money for our,
Yeah, something to do with football. Or
Oh,
like this.
or what's basketball, what would they want?
Change
Or like junior high, middle school basketball, we're trying to. That's what we're trying to.
Yeah.
We sign, we don't.
And then the kids get
No
excited
admission.
too, they're like,
Yeah.
In conjunction with the 50-50, hey, we're doing 50-50 tonight. It's going specifically
Yeah.
for this group, then people may be more apt to, do some more. But I mean, just, we've had situations with people in the community, who've gone through hard times or whatever, and that's like super well supported. I mean, the amount of money that, people give in those situations or whatever has been a lot, and again, if you've got 5 kids and it's $4 and, instead of, it's like, okay, here's $20, I want to contribute to this family to help them.
And maybe look into what Isaac said.
Just send all scan QR codes.
All right, any other discussion on the, well, I guess there's the pool pass outside of district, it's all staying the same, no discussion there.
Yeah, I heard nothing on that change.
All right, that's just a discussion item, so unless there's any other discussion, we can jump to board committee assignments.
We've never had either.
So do we want people to just, I know last year, last time, I think Scott had people just email him with things they wanted to do, and he kind of just split it up, or?
And what we're comfortable with since the president didn't do points. I mean, otherwise we can kind of do like the same. Can somebody tell me, I missed it somewhere, but I know we changed some of these, like I remember board policy becoming policy and legislative affairs. Finance. That was set up when we dispensed with the expense.
The expense.
Yeah.
That's finance. Can we do,
We
we have to do
don't
that?
We haven't done anything since we dispersed.
Well, I'm gonna make a suggestion. We don't have to necessarily appoint this maybe I should talk to Kim about this first. Would it be worthwhile to replace that with an insurance committee?
Yeah.
Because my idea for insurance committee was not just to have a couple of board representatives. Because I'm really not looking at them like you guys do buildings and grounds. We're not gonna look at that kind of thing. But a committee with representatives from the board, but also maybe we could get two from the teachers union. Now, we aren't negotiating with them or anything like that at those meetings, but I think it would be really useful if there were a couple of people from the staff who are willing to come and monthly maybe, or bi-monthly, enough, look at them. You'd have to talk to would be Allison, because she'd probably have to be there, or you. To look at those figures when they come in, to talk about, so that they're not just getting that when Janice comes in. Here's how it's going, and I don't know, but maybe we can just put that aside if you want to think about that a little bit.
Can I say something though? We're looking at, because the holdup with Allison doing contracts is we don't have a negotiations committee. So if we had that,
Oh,
then we can move ahead and she could do her contracts.
I would like to be on the negotiation.
Is it,
Rich, would you like to be in the negotiations still? Or?
Who's Rich?
Rich, do you hear us?
No, I can hear you really good. I can hear Isaac sort of. Did you ask if I wanted to stay on the negotiation committee?
Yes. You still interested in me?
Yep. Yep, that's fine.
Are either of you interested in being part of that?
Yeah.
So there's not a finance committee? Is that what it is?
Well, we haven't decided that, but we haven't.
We haven't.
So some of the discussion at one point for finance was breaking that down into, more tangible things to look at. Because I think the finance committee was the one that met before to look at the expenses.
Expense report.
Really,
And
all
then-
the expense review committee, because it changed every month and people just cycle through it. Earl, the treasurer, who was Earl too, had to be on it every month, but then they just cycled two people through, so you'd have it for 2 months. So,
We brought that, so it's just the whole board reviews it,
Yeah.
and so, because it seemed like we were kind of doubling up that anyways, so the goal was to get to a point like, is this looking more at, breaking down some of the other budget items and just having some oversight and visibility into that, but we never really made any headway on that. So if that's something we want to renew, I know there's often discussion about kind of our budget as a whole, and I think the one thing that always seems to get discussed a lot is when it comes to staff expenses, insurance, but are there other things we should be looking at besides
Yeah, and that would,
fire and insurance, but like
that would
the other
help.
things that I don't know how granular we want to get, and how granular the administration wants us to get, but there might be some value in having that kind of oversight or insight.
Yeah, I think the state of funding right now, that would probably be a wise decision to
Because it
just a
just be
focus
expensive,
effort.
it could also be on the other side.
Right,
Maybe insurance is one of the things that's part of that instead of.
Yeah.
educated. I don't
I
know
was
how
thinking that
broad
too.
you want to be, but maybe that's part of their role purview, because that's a big budget item.
well, and I was gonna say, between the salaries, particularly administrative and staffs and teaching staff salaries and insurance, you have the hugest chunk of your budget, so. But, and I'm still not exactly clear what the finance committee is doing, but
Just, if you're looking at,
if you do the insurance one. If we do it, I don't know.
insurance would be part of that finance to just kind of the oversight or the,
Yeah, maybe by monthly, we would look at insurance in the finance committee, but then we would have, every other month, we could look at other things too.
No,
We could do that too, right?
Yeah.
If we're not gonna.
Then it probably doesn't take a whole meeting to look at it.
No.
Once you get used to it, and Allison gets you
Yeah,
used to that report, it would mostly just be reviewing that, during it.
Yeah, and then every other month we get a deeper look at insurance and whatnot.
Yeah,
I guess I'm kind of interested in that.
yeah, absolutely.
As a former board member, you really want to get on policy. It's really exciting. That's the one.
We used to always assign.
To be mean?
For Neola, when you could actually
Yeah, to go through
read,
it.
when a normal high school graduate could read, or an eighth grade graduate could read the policies. Now, policies.
Yeah, it's almost, it's
I tried to read.
not easy.
Committee never met, Scott Fallon to create that. I think maybe this ad hoc to get so vast. You know, maybe if you want a different committee, but
I think that was more in respect to the referendum, wasn't it? I think that was kind of in.
Yeah, that was.
Usually when you hear ad hoc, you hear another word with it.
Yeah.
It's ad hoc.
Yeah.
Which tells you it's.
I think we should get rid of that or
I
at least,
Is there anything outstanding?
with ad hoc.
They wanted to update this. So it's not on the agenda. Cause we just did it last month. Allison said they
Everybody
wanted.
thinks I got what you think, but I think it can't be that.
What? Did I miss something?
What?
Did I miss something? Quit talking.
Yeah. So,
I don't think anything ever came.
No, the ad hoc. Ad hoc, that's the way.
Well, Bo was on and he said, well, nothing had almost also.
Well, can I use it?
Why it's like a form.
You gotta get paid for those?
We never had one. Scott had a really good idea of wanting to kind of have an all encompassing creation or like new ideas and stuff. It just never came.
And current facts and issues with the legislation. You know, I think that it moved legislation first. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking she brought that up, but, cause I think, wasn't Chris James like invited to some of those early on meetings? Or was that legislative?
Yeah, that was a
Legislative.
PLA.
My feet in there and I hit the button and I got stuck. Here we go. It's a long day. But cheers is tacky.
You were way back there.
We have here, I guess, so I guess the personnel committee is another one that, I mean, that's always been whoever comes in for the interview, but I feel like that's kind of just a call for availability. So
Yeah.
That's true. That's all it's ever been.
do we just kind of get rid of, I mean, instead of having people sit on it, it's just still a call for the.
Yeah, it has been. And I guess maybe what we could say along the lines of interviews is just trust the administrators to, like, the elementary position, maybe pick somebody with younger kids. Oh, yeah, your list. If it gets to the point where.
Response.
Where nobody responds, you can move on to full prepared person to come in.
So we'll not populate the personnel committee. We're not gonna populate the ad hoc committee. Okay, Allison's interested in the finance committee.
And what's this do insurance and.
Private slash insurance.
And then maybe the third negotiation.
Well, yeah, no, we have not. So I guess maybe if you want to start there, negotiations. So Ashley's been involved for negotiations. Janet and Mitch both said they do it, so I think we're good with that one. Maybe I'll jump back up to buildings and ground. I don't speak for you guys, you want to all stay on it. Anybody else have any desire to push somebody else off there?
You guys have done a really good job. That's
Yes,
the
they are.
only meeting I've ever went to another.
All right, so we'll leave that one alone. So then the finance committee, is there other people interested? I would maybe back out of that one, especially if we're gonna talk insurance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think to be safe, that just occurred by sticking that there, which it should be. That's gonna be a problem, but I got a voucher for everything, but that one I don't know.
Janet,
Allison?
anybody else? Want to be part of that? Actually, that's all about it, because we both need some, but-
Yeah.
You're
on.
So you're gonna stay in that? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then Allison, do you want to chair that then?
With help, yeah.
All right. Allison.
If you want a correction, they, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then the board policy and legislative affairs committee is,
Oh, Rich will stay on that.
Richard, you staying there?
Yeah, I'll keep chairing it.
I think that's another one, honestly, Rich, like building and grounds, where you need some continuity there, especially in that chair position. So that when you see the next quarter's things, you. Yep. Yeah, start to scratch it. So Rich on policy.
Look at the hand shooting at the
We're
air.
taking everybody really want to.
Did I sell it too good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me? Yeah, I'm good to stay on policy.
Rich?
Oh, right.
Yeah, so.
You'll love it.
First 5 years of the school board. Yeah.
It's a lot easier than,
It's a lot easier now with what you got.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad. And Rich does, and I'm not saying this just to be nice, you do a really nice job with that, Rich. You have it well organized and you guys get through it. If we had to help last year.
Yeah, well, it's easily with all the work Marla does to have everything highlighted and the changes and other stuff. So whoever's thinking of joining, I mean, especially new people, I think it's probably a good committee to be on because you're get familiar with the policies of the school. So
It all works.
You want to do it? Otherwise, I think I'm the last person standing. All right, Allison. Thank you. I really don't think you take on my. All right, so. Any questions on that? People, Brown, Janet, Rich, and Ashley for negotiation. Finance committee is gonna be Allison, Janet, Earl. Board policies is gonna be Rich, Ashley, and Allison. All right. Moving on to the activity log. We'll say the normal negative numbers are good.
That's right.
Yeah, negative's good.
It makes sense to me, yeah, I guess that's. School holds the money, we owe it to the employees.
Yes.
Therefore, that's negative enough. Any discussion on any of these counts?
Does the football program have something in mind for their $14,000? Most of them that are big are things that I know that ready for a trip or.
I don't know anything specifically, but knowing Justin, I'm sure he's got something that he's thinking that would be a good addition with this.
Yeah, I don't. I might have missed it, but I don't think I have it.
It's like
Where they're
boys-
supposed to, they're supposed to be.
Middle school boys basketball is $142.
Yeah, and that is, they work with high school, and it was some fundraising, it's a transfer of money. Anyway, it's like they're all in one with the high school.
I'm gonna say why, because they were $69 in the home last year, why were they even allowed to have it done this year?
The middle school. I think that was one, that, Allison lumps them all as a basketball program.
Yep, because there's no middle school girls system. Yeah, so if you actually want to combine, oh, yeah. It's not-
Well,
Well, we should figure that out.
And your book will get back later?
Yep.
Yes, that was the timing of the purchase and everything.
They just came in, yeah.
We still,
I was gonna say there's typically always a little bit of a deficit on that, though, I think.
well, but a couple years, more than a couple now, years ago, we started putting so much toward that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually, I would assume after they've sold what they've sold, that should be pretty,
Okay.
I mean, they sold out of your,
Well, things have changed a lot as well.
You're welcome.
your,
With the class of 2046?
From,
Oh, promise, okay.
well, it's the graduating class, so whatever that class is, that's their class fund.
And they usually do it
Yeah,
for
for
prom.
what, I mean, senior trip or
Okay.
a class trip or whatever it is.
Maybe they raise over 4 years.
And that money actually goes with them, with their class when they graduate. So it's
Okay.
for
It's
reunions or whatever.
Since the first time.
Yeah, I think that's what it's at, yeah.
How long have we been on? Well, it's like 2024.
Or I let you know.
Usually, they're supposed to take care of it once they graduate, they're supposed to take care of it and clear out the account.
2024, that's clear.
Yeah.
I think we've had years where they didn't, and what if we hold it for 1 or 2 and then we say they're done? I can't remember.
Well, I know 2025, is that the one they're trying to work on? I think because they came here thinking they could just take the money out, so they haven't come back to do the paperwork yet, so, yeah.
They want it in cash.
Yeah,
like when Mark Barton,
yeah.
like when Barton wanted to get past, so you had for
Yeah.
being a mentor.
all right, we'll move on to the co-ed expense report. Co-op expense report. You split costs between Chick-fil-A and bars for each of the stores.
Well, and since the spring sport has not completed, she does not have the numbers there and kind of waiting on the part.
But I think it's worse. I kept, emailed Allison on this to ask how much of the money for the fall and winter, how much of the expenses that we had paid, because this is odd. Notice there's absolutely nothing in the barge, and they used to do some of the transportation, depending on which direction, like if we were going from our property, sometimes the barge would drive because they leave from there, they pick our kids up here, and if we go to say Brookwood, them up. So the response now, we have gotten nothing yet. Not their expenses, even, and no money. No, I don't know. Did we not send them a bill? Did we not tell them? But that bugs me a little bit. I think if we're gonna co-op, we don't need to put all the expenses. I don't think these are all the expenses, because I think maybe they didn't, but it would be odd that they had expended anything. I mean, I don't know, because I'm a kid's in it, and my husband is a restaurant. Yeah, but
Have some.
I mean, if they're just picking their kids up from here for practice, you know, well, that's their cost. But what they were.
They're at non-profit too.
So we need to get a whole, you mentioned somewhere in either last month or somewhere in these things that I'm going through trying to catch up from being gone last month, that you was Megan and the principals or ADs were getting together. I think this has got to be addressed. We shouldn't be waiting this long because we're usually on the plus side anyway, but at least the expenses. You know, you're going to
So
say
make
now
now-
and plus what your expenses were for last. You know, reasonable amount of time in the season. I mean, I think one year we didn't even get the bulk of payment at the end until after the fiscal year was over.
Yeah, I think it was. And when I talked with Allison, yeah, I don't know if, and maybe it's a change of practice then that we'll have to discuss and I can bring that up to them. But it sounded like to me when we were going through this, that once they completed this spring, then they must just send
One
payment.
payment?
That's-
Well, I don't, if it's a change, it's different from what it was a few years back, but I'm, maybe they have been doing that for a few years. I don't know.
And I can't remember if they did, but
I
I'm
don't
going
know
over
back
that
to our pennies from last year, because we used to, maybe it wasn't last year, but there was years when we were co-oping that we would get this report with the high school, middle school football filled in, and the other blank. We could get one with wrestling filled in. And at the end, we finally get the.
Yeah, so ideally you finish a sport and then let's get
Within a
paid.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Get your expenses together.
Okay.
I don't know, to me, that sounds reasonable. It's being unreasonable, or that's a touchy thing to address.
No, I will bring that to them. That makes sense.
All right, and a great follow-up for our committee assignment is, we need to skip a negotiation committee meeting.
Or with Allison not here, if you guys have an idea of when we want to have it, she could look at her calendar too.
And you know, when, and you guys are like, how soon? Well, usually we want to have that on June 4th, right?
Yeah, so before.
At the end of the.
So yeah, I would say,
First part of June,
yeah,
at least, yeah.
I mean, I think she has all the work done.
It's gonna be more, you know what, it's gonna be kind of a matter of when, I don't know. I want to say the other summer, hey, but it's,
Sarah's the union president.
okay.
Falls. We never did that.
But Allison is prepared.
Oh,
and she has-
seriously?
We've gone over it, yeah. Over it,
I
so
told him.
it's, get the committee and set the meeting.
And then it goes to the union.
About the 21st to the 27th, maybe, of this month. But either before that or
Her calendar.
anytime. When school hours at the 29th.
May 5th, or
Fourth.
May, or, yeah.
Fourth.
13 days, 12 hours, 42 minutes.
16 seconds.
Give or take.
First we should.
I can't look at my calendar.
Yeah, that's.
Maybe okay, any day. I don't know what time of day, actually. We try to do like.
Who's counting?
Who's on negotiations as ever for them?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I should say Rich.
Listen, what time? Is that after school or? After school. Rich, that's right after school work for you?
Which week?
Somewhere the first week in June,
Yeah, Ashley said, June 4th.
and that's fine.
To get out at 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We could do any, yeah.
But what about Rich? What does June 4th look like? That's
I mean, I would have to call in. I mean, I'll be home the week after Memorial Day and then the week of the board meeting in June. I have to travel the week of the 1st, but I can call in on the 4th, definitely.
Yeah, that's fine.
But what time is more convenient? Because Ashley mentioned that's a
1 o'clock.
early release, 1 o'clock release day, so anytime after about, I think I'll let us do.
I mean, I can, that week I can rearrange my stuff. I could call in anytime.
We'll see if Sarah can do that.
Do you have any meetings? or
I
anything? What?
would definitely.
Oh, yeah, a lot of stuff in
Make
today.
sure we check.
Is there any elementary teachers on?
So tentatively June 4th and.
Whatever you say.
If they want to stick around versus come back. So just
Yeah.
Whenever. It's good about 1 or 7:30.
We're gonna have, well, are there any elementary teachers on there? Cause I was gonna do a staff meeting at 1.
Well, does the negotiation committee meet first and then take it back to the And then meet with the union, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we met just ourselves first.
Yes, and then meet with them. Okay,
So
That day, we meet.
we will present to you
Yes.
and then you.
And we get together.
yes.
But it's not two separate.
Yeah,
So whenever we start, so we started, whenever. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody, elementary teachers are on that. negotiation. Sarah,
Sarah's not.
They won't be involved right away anyway.
yeah, there'll be two that.
So if we want to have it for 1:30, then that should be fine. Yep.
Just ballpark, how long will that take?
6 hours and 10 minutes.
In the old days. How long? They were long meetings. It takes maybe 45 minutes at most for Allison's very organized.
Oh, yeah, like the information.
Yeah, and we have CPI calculations for the state, so that basically what things are based on. He figures out which one. Spread around over the. So 40 and another 45. And I don't know. At the most, probably at the most. Yeah.
All right, it's, calendar and jump in the superintendent's report.
Oh, I'm sorry, so what time on the 4th?
1:30.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Rich. So superintendent's report, really just, bringing together everything beyond working with the staff and the students, as there's always more issues in May. But the deep down focus is really on the portrait of graduate work, which is kind of a state initiative right now. So I'm trying to put some effort into that, to define that, bringing forward that survey work that I had done earlier, having those ongoing conversations, although May is really difficult to try to get together. But that was our commitment with Megan and Becky, is to keep that communication going. Really also trying to explore the possibility of some alternative educational opportunities for our students who may struggle with our traditional educational setting. To just really work with Lafarge and try to develop a way that we can meet those students' needs together as well. Continuing to work on the enrollment trends, some of the course requests, working with Erin on that. Looking at our staffing projections, any intervention needs and scheduling for next year. Overall, our enrollment remains stable, but we are seeing some shifts within the grade level cohorts. And my intentions really are, because I know Isaac has kind of referenced some of those deeper graphs beyond the enrollment that I presented before. So I thought the retreat might be a really good time to bring and help you visualize and see the district through current enrollment, cohorts, and then projections, really, just so you have a good grasp of who Kickapoo is and our enrollment and our special needs that are increasing. Had a short start of a conversation and meeting. I used to work with, I don't know if you remember, but Garth Larson quite a bit as a principal. And as we go through all of this AI stuff and really taking that guidance from CISA, I think Jamie does a really great job. He's negotiated with Magic School to bring the pricing of an AI platform down, being able to cover it in the entire region. That would be considered a closed AI, which provides a safety to our students and staff, really. So continuing those conversations there, but I was kind of looking more into Garth because I always thought he brought a lot of really solid education practices that were research-based. And he too is working with Tony Frontier, who was also part of our CISA 3 trainings. So I requested just a quick meeting with him, and he's so busy, but he did. And Andy was able to come down. Aaron was working with an issue upstairs, so he didn't make it. But one of the conversations that we had during that meeting, which really stood out to me, was some research that he had done around the declining cognitive stamina and problem-solving skills that are in students prior to AI becoming mainstream, which makes that process of how are we bringing AI into Kickapoo even more important, to make sure that we remain committed to our vision of the critical thinking, you know, continuing to build the cognitive skills, but then teach students how we can use AI to elevate those skills that we still want to remain focused on. So he is having a training in August, I believe. So there are 4 of us that are going to go to that training to receive some more guidance really on how to bring AI to Kickapoo. But our plan is still really, I mean, we're trying to make some wise decisions about AI, but we need to get going on the road by the start of the school year. So our plan is to bring in the professional development to our staff, but also to provide us with that foundation of really understanding all of the things to be aware of and how we can use it to elevate our vision and our mission for our kids. So we will hit the ground running at the start of the year, but we're still working on building some training into ourselves. And let's see. So yeah, we will be going to NINA with Garth Larson and Tony Frontier. The digital sign project continues to move forward. Alan is currently coordinating with Diggers Hotline and establishing a timeline for our project. He was trying to get me that timeline this week. He is also working with several other additional projects. But he told me that he was calling the Diggers Hotline and would start that process. We continue to engage in the broader county and regional safety conversations. How I meet with the Vernon County superintendents and additionally participate in the Vernon County Schools Safety Task Force meeting, which includes the law enforcement, fire departments, healthcare, businesses, and schools. These conversations really build that awareness about community safety concerns while strengthening our communication. Now we are also going to start that same type of group in Richland County so that we can coordinate our efforts, and our communication and our language is all very consistent. So the safety practices will be very common no matter what school that you're attending or visiting or competing in. Recognizing some of the positive student-centered projects. I think like Erin had mentioned, Sam Goodwin and one of her students, along with Mr. Carger, have been redesigning that landscape area right outside the elementary entrance, which looks phenomenal. Giving students opportunities to contribute to the appearance and the atmosphere gives them a little bit of ownership. And again, like Erin said to the previous group, Jeremy and his students have been reworking with that garden center right outside the elementary gym. Helping to redesign the area with the flowers and native plants, hands-on experiences, and just being able to identify some of those plants that we would like them to be aware of. And then just continuing to recognize the staff for their small acts of service and their teamwork and the flexibility. It's really nice when you're out in public and people find you and sit by you and just comment on the interaction that they've had with a Kickapoo staff member. And I sent an email today just talking about the Kickapoo Way and how all of those actions and interactions matter, and I think just really build who Kickapoo is and establishes our reputation. So all of those acts that they are doing out in the community are making connections. And I know Aaron's going to probably reference one of his later. But it all matters and people recognize that. And I am continuing to work on different communication measures to keep you more informed, weekly, to keep our community more informed of what's going on, and the staff. But May is very much a people month, and people come first, so it's a lot of interactions with kids and families and staff. So that kind of is taking the priority in the forefront, but there's a lot. And I had a good graduating. That's all I have.
So you mentioned the AI, so are we gonna have the join the magic school?
Yes, I did submit my opinion that we would.
Okay.
Just because I think we're gonna have to have an avenue. I like that it's closed and protect. And I also really want to respect Jamie and all the work that he does. To build these relationships and create opportunities for us. So.
Storage as well. I don't know, represent the person.
The entire weekend, yeah. And I want it. I hadn't heard much feedback on who, but
Yeah, so that would have.
yeah.
That's fine. It's any platform's gonna cost. This one's been better than.
Yeah.
And you'll have support, so.
Yeah. Yes, yes, exactly. And I will leave it.
So, and then you mentioned the retreat.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good idea. But, you know, that usually needs to be scheduled way ahead too, because, you know.
Yeah.
So,
And is that usually in July or August or whatever?
or we've had it anywhere from, I usually try to get it like right after shortly after
Oh,
school.
I was thinking it was later July or early
But
August.
then it's been in July. One time it was in August. That didn't work really good because it was too close to the beginning of the year. And we had some time, but just,
Yeah,
you're just thinking the one day sort of thing. Like you would,
yeah. I'm not, yeah, I'll do whatever you guys really want, but I was thinking one day would be.
I'm sure you have some ideas of what they're going to be. So, okay, she got graduated. So that's a little easier.
Yeah.
All right.
Track and field day today was today, kind of Sam Gary's big farewell. A lot of nice things were said about Sam and very deservingly so. Kim got Sleepy to bring their ice cream truck and everybody got ice cream and Lacey Finger passed out the ice cream. Bunch of field trips coming up for the elementary starting Friday. People will be in and out. The spring concert is next Wednesday and that's at 6:00. So there will be practices next week. Was in the earlier minutes, but Mr. Clements Dustin got the $2,500 grant from the jump rope for hard stuff. So well done, Justin. I'm finishing up EE, as is Aaron. Setting up class lists for next year, figuring out where everybody's going to go, and then taking some time. What time there is the discussions with people about areas to improve, things we want to try next year, and different things we're going to do with Jim, and things that we can continue to build on what we've done this year. So it's going to be busy. I think I hate May, but anyway.
All right, as Andy said, May gets pretty crazy between scholarship nights and graduations and everything else going on. With that, graduation helpers, Ashley, I think you're the lone representative for the middle school and the high school. So unless anybody else wants to jump in, she said she'd do it. You're good with that? All right, we'll train you. So Isaac, we will give you the diplomas later tonight, have you sign, and we'll send them back with Nicolette. And we'll get those done soon. So we got that, with that, like I said, there's a lot going on. We had scholarship night last Wednesday night. Close to $500,000 given, so always pretty cool. Just the amount of money and support that we have in the community for stuff, which is great. Mrs. Leggy did a great job with it. And again, just, the amount of local people that come and contribute and do things is pretty awesome. So one of the new things that, Mrs. Leggy has done the last couple of years, which has been great, we always did just kind of a transition a little bit, but that program is really amped up. We do a 6th grade transition day, so they actually come up. And rather than just kind of going to lunch and walk through things, there's like a whole bunch of info we go through. It's just a really good opportunity for them to come into the middle school. We have the academic assembly coming up next week, where we try to go through more on the academic side of the things that kids have done, recognize that. And one of the things that can relate as far as just kind of support. So they actually give an award at the hospital. They have a Daisy Award for the workers at the hospital, and they have a B Award. And so Fee, our athletic trainer, won the B Award. So we went to the presentation. He didn't know he was going to show. And so actually it was kind of ironic because he won the B Award, but the B Award has nothing to do with bees. But Fee raises bees, and we tease him that he's a bee farmer. So we all had shirts that said Fee's Bee. So we went there. So it was good. I think it meant a lot to him, and it was good. We thought about it. So other than that, after the end of next Friday night, things will come down a little bit more. So for who? Any questions or anything? Go ahead.
All right, yes, that takes us to 12, closed session. Washington State Statute 19.851C, employment, promotion, compensation, performance evaluation of any public employee for which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercise responsibility. Matter of purpose is summer softball, baseball coaches and volunteers, assistant municipal baseball coach, staffing changes for 2026, 2027. Motion, I will make a motion to convene the closed session.
One second.
Motion by Earl, second by Janet, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right,
Hang on.
so motion has been made on the closed session.
I'll make a motion to for the summer softball, baseball coaches and volunteers, and assistant middle school baseball coach, the list that we have presented to us, to approve them for the coaches positions.
I'll second.
Motion by Earl, second by Janet, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I'm just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that.
You're all good work. Everybody.
Thank you.
What's
What's that?